Welcome back to the Pole Position. Canadian politics has certainly been interesting over the last few years, with outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau facing an abysmal polling situation, and a recent Conservative resurge under Pierre Poilievre. It seems that the Liberal Party should be on the verge of a catastrophic electoral defeat. For a while, it seemed likely that the Conservative Party of Canada was on track for a historic win, with an unpopular Prime Minister and a split left-of-centre vote, leading to talks of a landslide victory. But recent polling has put the Liberals on a rapid upward trend, squeezing votes from both the right-wing Conservatives and the left-wing New Democrats. They're certainly not in the lead, and a lot of work still needs to be done if the Liberals wish to remain in power. But this trend should definitely be worrying for the Conservatives, especially since the election isn't until October, meaning the Liberals have plenty of time to recover. This surge in popularity is down to a number of factors, the first being the contenders for the leadership of the Liberal Party. The two main contenders for the Liberal leadership are Mark Carney and former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. Carney is the former head of both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England and is relatively popular. A poll from Abacus Data found that Carney has a net approval of positive 13%, compared to Freeland with a net approval of negative 1%. Carney is in the lead in both endorsements from MPs and support amongst the Liberal members, which puts him in a good position for the leadership. There is also the issue of Pierre Poilievre, who despite leading against Trudeau, he isn't actually that popular. Polling from the Angus Reid Institute shows that he had a negative 17-point net approval rating in December of last year, with his support largely being a vote against Trudeau rather than a vote for him necessarily. This is definitely an issue that Conservatives will need to deal with, as the Liberal Party helmed by Mark Carney would stand a much better chance of victory than it did under Trudeau. That is, if Carney's approval ratings hold. There is also another issue that many are pointing to, and that is the recent comments made by US President Donald Trump over annexing Canada. The Trudeau government was able to use these comments to pitch themselves as the party that stands up to Trump, which has been successful in winning over many Canadians who were frustrated with the recent rhetoric from the president. Whilst Poilievre, who had previously drawn comparisons between his more populist rhetoric and that of President Trump, is now struggling to separate himself from that previous message, leading to him struggling in the polls more. All of this combined with the left-of-centre vote seemingly being more united as more left-wing New Democrats struggle to gain support despite the unpopularity of the government. This has led to a situation where the Conservatives are struggling to hold their momentum, whilst the Liberals gain support with the prospect of a new leader, and thus a new direction. It should be noted that Conservatives are still firmly in the lead, and that the election is still months away, meaning anything could happen. Elections are always uncertain, if not anything else, and the Conservative polling lead must not be understated. The Liberals also have an absolute mountain to climb in the polls if they hope to retain power, and their victory in the next election is going to be dependent on whether or not they can keep this momentum, but things are looking brighter for them. The Conservatives had the advantage of a split in the left-wing vote, which is not an issue for the right, as they are the only significant right-wing party on the ballot. They also have the advantage of not being the incumbent party, which helps as there are significant issues with cost of living that have damaged the position of the Liberals. However, it should also be noted that the electoral map under Canada's first-past-the-post system has not been favourable to the Conservatives, as the last two Canadian elections both led to a Liberal victory, despite the Liberals gaining fewer votes than the Conservatives, albeit with a hung parliament being the result. Regardless of what happens, I will be here to cover the election when it finally comes, so if you like what you see then be sure to like and subscribe. As always, have a great day and I'll see you next time.